is Valley News Live at 6.
Good evening. I am Nisha Taylor. Thank you for joining us. 2 juveniles are in custody after a high-speed chase spanning through several counties and covered more than 100 miles took place today on Interstate 29. In this video given to us by a viewer, you can see the white pickup truck speeding in the southbound lanes of I-29 and several police following behind. Authorities say the pursuit started in Pembina County, where a deputy observed the speeding truck, which was reported stolen in Harwood. The deputy attempted to make a traffic stop, but the suspect fled through counties. Before entering the Fargo metro area, spike strips and another pursuit intervention technique was used. The pursuit came to a stop near exit 67, where you can see the officers surrounding the vehicle in a ditch off the side of the road. The 2 juveniles are facing charges of fleeing, reckless endangerment, theft of a motor vehicle, and possession of stolen property. And in Grand Forks, a car chase ensued after police were responding to a vehicle theft on North Washington Street. Authorities were dispatched to the report of the theft around 6 a.m. this morning, and once the vehicle was located, a pursuit began. Officers later lost sight, but sometime later, the same vehicle was spotted and another pursuit started on Gateway Drive. A 21-year-old driver was later apprehended in Grand Forks County. Pending charges include fleeing in a motor vehicle and theft of a vehicle. And Grand Forks police were also led on another car chase a little after 5 a.m. this morning. Officers were responding to a report of a restraining order violation at the 600 block of 8th Avenue North. A pursuit later ensued and ended near the 800 block of Cherry Street. Pending charges also included violation of a disorderly conduct restraining order, DUI refusal, reckless endangerment, and fleeing in a motor vehicle. A vehicle was fully engulfed on the side of northbound I-29 just outside of Fargo. Northbound traffic was backed up. The North Dakota Highway Patrol and Harwood fire crews were on the scene. Valley News Live will have more details on this fire as they become available. Meanwhile, a 15-year-old has died after a rollover crash on Highway 11 near LIDGERWOOD. The male driver was heading west in a Chevrolet pickup. North Dakota Highway Patrol says the driver entered the north ditch of Highway 11 and overcorrected, forcing him to cross both lanes of traffic. The vehicle later entered the ditch on the south side and overturned multiple times before coming to a rest on its roof. The driver sustained severe injuries and was later pronounced dead on the scene. Attorney Ben Crump, family members of George Floyd, members of Congress are speaking out about a federal grand jury decision to indict four former officers involved in Floyd's arrest and death. The 3-count indictment, unsealed Friday, alleged the officers violated Floyd's constitutional rights from unreasonable seizure and excessive force. It names Derek Chauvin, the 3 other officers involved. They are charged with violating Floyd's right to be free.
That these charges that were brought by the Justice Department encourages future generations to know that our Department of Justice will be here to make sure that all of American citizens are afforded the constitutional rights of life and liberty and equal justice.
All 4 officers are charged for failing to provide Floyd with medical care. And about a dozen counter-protesters gathered this morning at Island Park in response to another threat of a White Lives Matter rally. The last time a protest like this was held was on April 11th, when a similar situation arose across the nation. All right, let's take it over to Summer. Summer, what do we have to look forward to in our forecast?
We have multiple things to talk about. Some folks enjoyed sunshine today, others cloudy skies, others even some rain and some snow. But here we have a couple folks down at the Dakota Winds Golf Course near Hankinson, North Dakota. May not be the warmest or sunniest day to go golfing, but get in those putts while you can. Completely different picture out in western North Dakota. This is I-94 right near New Salem. You can see those fluffy flakes flying and snow accumulating in the ditch. Most of the valley is dry tonight, but that is not the case to the south and west, where we have been watching some rain and some snow almost all day long. You can see there's quite a sharp cutoff of just how far north this is being able to advance. It's because it's running into some very dry air. Here's a look at our region, where our relative humidities are only in the teens and 20% values. However, that precipitation is falling exactly where it needs to, because our drought conditions, we are seeing precipitation still in the extreme category as of May 4th. The rest of tonight here in Fargo, I do expect cloudy skies and temperatures falling into the 30s by morning. Nishay, I'll let you guys know when we might see some more moisture in our neck of the woods coming up in just a little bit.
Yeah, who would have thought more snow during this time?
On May 8th, right?
Yeah, okay. All right, thanks so much, Summer. Numerous people gathered at the Healing Garden outside the Broadway Sanford Medical Center to support Brady Monroe and his family. 23-year-old Brady has been on a ventilator after contracting COVID. For over 20 days, Brady has been battling the virus, and today friends and family wanted to share their support with one another.
He isn't awake at this time to be able to see this along. His dad is upstairs with him as well. And they would be overwhelmed with how many people showed up and that continued to support him in all of our benefits.
Numerous fundraising efforts have been set up to help Brady and his family during these difficult times. A new analysis suggests the global death toll from COVID-19 may be double than what has been reported. The researchers compared actual number of all deaths caused during the pandemic with the number of anticipated deaths from all causes based on the pre-pandemic trends. Based on that, they estimate that nearly 6.9 million people around the world had died from COVID-19. That is more than double than the over 3.2 million deaths reported by the World Health Organization. The scientists say the increased death toll may be a result of insufficient testing. And according to the Biden administration, about 57% of adults in America have received at least a first dose of vaccine. It's good news, but health experts are working hard to further increase those numbers and combat vaccine hesitancy.
The fans are back. A shot in the arm for baseball and fans.
Excited to hear the noise.
As stadiums like Truist Park outside Atlanta reopen to the public, ticket holders are getting more than just a seat. They can also get a vaccine.
Wanted to get here as soon as possible when I saw that it was going to be during my favorite team's game, and it made it definitely cool.
A creative approach to increase vaccine distribution as the Biden administration marks two key milestones. 150 million Americans have received at least one shot. 110 million are fully vaccinated. But there are signs interest is waning. Some states that initially scrambled to get as many doses as possible, now scaling back orders. In Orange County, California, this mass vaccination site shutting down because people aren't showing up.
We think that more people who have not yet gotten their vaccine are either fearful or they just don't have time in their lives.
The federal government dedicating $250 million to community organizations to help spread vaccine awareness, increase the number of appointments, and assist with transportation, pitching in to get the country closer to herd immunity. Sarah Olive, NBC News.
Pope Francis today stressed the need for vaccine equity in a video message addressed to participants of the Global Citizen Fundraising Concert. In his message, the Pope asked for global nations to not forget the most vulnerable, arguing that, quote, a variant of this virus is closed nationalism, which prevents, for example, an internationalism of vaccines. Now, if you're looking for a place to get the vaccine, use our VNL vaccine tracker. It's on the homepage of our website, or you can open your phone camera and point it at the QR code on your screen, then tap the link that pops up. Later on Valley News Live at 6, a vehicle chip shortage is causing Ford to fall behind on pickup truck production.
And it was an active day for some folks out to the south and west with rain and snow. Fairly quiet across the valley today, and your Mother's Day looking quiet as well. We'll have your hour-by-hour forecast and what to expect for Mom's Day and a warm-up you won't want to miss. All the details are coming up next on Valley News Live at 6.